Bree, how old are you?
I am 20.
Okay. And when did you first start gaming?
I was like 4, if I remember correctly. Like that's my earliest memory. So like 4.
Awesome. Do you remember what your first game was?
Yes. Donkey Kong Country. Yep. Still one of my favorites.
All right. Awesome. How many hours a week on average do you think you spend playing games these days?
Well, I guess I spend like maybe 3 hours a day.
Okay.
Like in my spare time.
Maybe 20 hours a week or so?
Yeah, about.
Okay. And if you were to classify yourself, would you call yourself a hardcore gamer? Would you call yourself a casual gamer? Would you call yourself an intermediate gamer? What would you call yourself?
Casual.
And how old are you?
I'm 19.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm a full-time student.
Okay. And about how old were you when you first started playing video games? Roughly?
10.
10?
Around there.
Okay. So, a while now. Do you remember what your first game was?
It'd have to be Nintendo 64 Tetris.
Right on. Classics. Okay, how many hours a week do you think you spend playing games these days?
Probably from the time I get home, probably about 6 hours a day.
Okay. So if we were to add it up, maybe between 35 and even 40 hours a week?
Yeah.
Okay. So quite a bit.
Sounds like a lot when you put it together like that.
Well, yeah, it's okay. In your own opinion, where would you classify yourself? Are you more casual gamer, hardcore gamer, intermediate? What would you call yourself?
Casual.
Casual. Okay. Okay.
I'm 22.
Okay. And what do you do?
I'm a student
Okay. How long have you been playing video games?
since I was about 15.
Since you're 15. What was your first video game?
Guild Wars.
Guild Wars. Okay. About how many hours a week do you play video games, would you guess, on average?
Maybe like 45.
45? Okay.
Weekends more,
Weekends? Okay.
depending on what I have to do.
Okay, so like 45 hours total or 4 to 5 hours a day?
4 to 5 hours a day.
Okay. So a little more on weekends, so probably in total maybe 30 hours a week?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. And what would you consider yourself? Would you consider yourself more of a hardcore gamer, more of a casual gamer? What level would you put yourself at?
I'm more a casual gamer.
I'm 20.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm a student currently.
A student? Okay. When did you start playing video games?
Oh, for as long as I can remember.
Give me a guess. How old were you roughly? Guess.
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6. Okay, long time then.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what your first game was?
I think it was Ninja Boy
Okay.
on the Super Nintendo.
Right on. Okay. And how many hours a week do you think you play video games, roughly?
It's gone down so much.
So
but,
nowadays, roughly
Nowadays, I spend about an hour or 2.
a day?
Yeah.
Okay. So in total, maybe 10 to 14, 15 hours a week?
Yeah.
Okay. And in your own opinion, where would you put yourself in? Would you say you're more of a casual gamer, more of a intermediate gamer, more of a hardcore gamer?
Casual.
So what platform do you play on?
I use PC.
PC. I play Xbox at times, but
PC.
I don't bounce between PC and Xbox.
Okay.
Since you play both, which platform do you prefer to play on?
I guess I'd say Xbox.
It
just feels good to have a controller in your hands.
Do you guys play any mobile apps on your phone?
Oh yeah, just random stuff. I prefer PC as well because you can also be playing the game and doing other stuff. If that makes sense. Like I dual screen personally, so I can have like one thing going on one and another playing the game, so I can do more.
Watching Netflix and
Yeah, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
what's your favorite video game and why?
I'm gonna have to go with the classics. I love Super Mario Brothers. It's like what I was raised with, and I just love it. Well, I just like that's my favorite one. Like it's so hard to choose a favorite as well. It's just I have to just choose it because I love Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi.
I'd have to go with classic myself. Mario Karts, Nintendo 64. Playing at my grandma's house. All of my cousins were raised on that, and I think that it's kind of based who I am today.
For me, it's Guild Wars because that was the very first game I played. So anything in the Guild Wars franchise, I will play it, even if it's ridiculously hard. I will play it. And it's the only game that I've ever been able to get like a max level character in without getting bored.
Mine is Curse of Monkey Island. I know it's really, it's not that well known, but it's one of those quirky puzzle solving games that it's just amazing.
So of those games, what aspect of the game do you like most?
I guess what I like most is like maybe like a challenge. A challenge is always good, and also like being able to get into the video game. Like it doesn't even have to have good graphics. Like good graphics are even like classic Pokemon. It's just amazing, and the graphics are just not amazing. So I know a lot of people nowadays are like, oh, the graphics suck. I'm like, but it has a good plot. So like if the story's good and like it's a challenge and it's good gameplay, like I'll play it. Like I love it.
If I fall in love with the storyline, I will play it. But the games that I play have to have some sort of storyline, which is why World of Warcraft is really difficult for me sometimes, because it doesn't have like a central storyline to follow. It's just a bunch of quests and dungeons and raids. But I'll pretty much play anything if I'm able to play it. I'm not a picky person.
I feel that I need to be entertained and kind of like kept up on the story. Like if I'm trying to get to like level 100 and like level 20 it starts getting boring, I kind of just want to quit. So
Yeah, what they all said. Mine, I picked mine because, as I said, it had that really quirky sense of humor. Like, you have a talking skull named Murray. And one of the first things he says to you is, I will stride through the gates of hell with your head on pike. Stride? Fine, I will roll through the gates of hell with your head on a pike. Must you take the fun out of everything?
So
And it's just wonderful.
it has you like to see some different things. You don't want to see the same thing over and over and over
Yeah.
again.
What games are you guys playing currently?
I've recently just became obsessed with Borderlands 2. Just loving me some Borderlands 2.
as of currently, this week I actually downloaded Alice. It's like an RPG game, kind of like Ica, kind of like Guild Wars, I guess, in a way. But mostly I spend most of my time playing League of Legends. Like that's mostly where I spend my time.
I recently renewed my subscription to World of Warcraft after my family's like, we're switching over to World of Warcraft now, so you should probably make a new character and start leveling a character. And I was like, really? You just made me level all the way to 80 in Guild Wars 2 and now you're switching over to WoW? I'm like, alright, fine. I'll come with you, but you guys are going to help me because I'm going to get really bored really fast.
I can relate to that so very much. Currently I'm replaying through a lot of the classics, like original Sierra Games classics, like King's Quest, Quest for Glory, Monkey Islands. My boyfriend and I have been playing this game called The Cave, which is really cute. A little simple but cute.
So you guys said you like to play games with good storylines. Is that an essential feature, or will you play a game that's less story focused?
I'll also play like first-person shooters, just go in there and start shooting things, because that's occasionally fun.
I really like strategy games, to be honest with you. The ones that make you think. Those.
So it's not necessarily about the storyline.
Oh, definitely. Not like sometimes. It depends on what mood I'm in, but it doesn't necessarily have to be about the story.
I personally would like to see a sci-fi based game other than like Star Wars. And I like fantasy games too.
There's a lot of times that I like hack and slash or fighting games. I'm a lover of Tekken 6. Alyssa, just pull out chainsaws and go. Whoosh.
Boss.
Yeah, seriously, she's a robot girl who can take off her head, hand it to you, then cover while it explodes in your hands. It's awesome.
I just wish I had that ability. Just hold my head for me. It's easy. Can you please watch this?
So on the reverse of that, what in a video game do you like least?
Repetitiveness. I
Yeah.
don't want to continue to have to go and do the same thing over and over and over again just to get to it.
Is that why first-person shooters for you, or is this kind of?
First person shooters are okay, but they're kind of repetitive.
Because games are really difficult for me to play physically, I don't really judge it on that at first, whether I like it or not, until I know I can actually play the game. Because if I can't play the game, then there's no way I can personally decide whether I like it. But like everyone else said, I don't like repetitiveness. So if you're gonna have me kill 10 of the same thing over, I don't want to do it again and again and again.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in a game other than repetitiveness that you don't like?
I have one. Stupid quests. Just stupid quests that don't even have to coincide with anything. Just stupid quests.
Look at me, a red salmon. What's the red salmon for?
I don't know. Just want it.
Would you say that you like your games to have a purpose, to be striving towards accomplishing a larger goal?
Yeah. I hate it when it's bland. Even if it's not repetitive, it has to have something to spice it up. You can't just revolve. I don't even know how to put it. It needs something. Yeah.
Just these short little.
I hate escort quests.
Oh,
Person is protect me from this, and then the person just goes and randomly dies, and you're after one hit, you're what the heck?
It reminds me of the new Mario Brothers for the Wii. You have to rescue Toad, and you can accidentally throw the Toad.
So we're definitely saying that Resident Evil 4, Ashley Green, is not our favorite game. Just the lemming following.
Yeah. It's just I don't want to have to protect you while I'm trying to protect myself.
So that brings up a good question. How do you guys feel about the damsel in distress?
There's a speech. You can save yourself. I'm trying to go through all these castles for you, okay? I swear, one more castle, I'm just okay, you can have you. I'm over it. You ain't worth it. Just saying.
Bowser would be your best friend.
I love Bowser. Just leave Bowser out of this. We're just BFFs. Away.
I feel like they have to portray the girl. It's kind of just, it's been in the storyline forever. It just kind of has to be there, but
You know what they should do? Make the dude the damsel in distress and the girl the bad person. Help this guy, he needs your help. And you're I got this, man, I got this.
it never really is the guy. It's always the girl.
Exactly. Yeah, switch up.
What, I guess?
But on the same token, though, sometimes I think if games try to make a badass female character, it makes them seem way over the top and unrealistic to me.
Yeah.
Well, also, Laura Croft, she's freaking badass. But then everyone's oh, her tits, man. I'm no, that's not what it's about. Just stop. That thing you're doing, you need to stop that.
That's another thing. The way they portray these women in video games. I'm sorry, not every woman in this world has D cups and a size 4 centimeter waist.
No, boobs don't work that way. You can't run with those boobs. I'm going to get concussions. And then the outfits they put them in, this is your armor. Covers your nipples and your crotch.
You're protected from the world.
This seems, I feel so safe.
But I understand that they're trying to pull in the guy population. But again, they feel that
I think games should give more options to women characters about character design. They should have more options in the character creation screen instead of the small waists, like everyone was saying.
I've noticed that they've been including a lot of height differences in games lately, because usually it was just one height and then facial characteristics and whatnot, but recently it's been a lot of height. Just nice, 'cause I'm
As in, like, the girls being shorter?
Yes, the girls being shorter and taller.
And you have an issue with that?
Well, kind of, because I'm like 6'1", and I don't want to play a little 4-foot girl in a game.
So with multiplayer games, do you guys think you'd be happy with a better variety of girl characters to play?
It depends on the game, to be
Yeah.
honest. Some games like, I want to be female, and other games like, I want to be the dude.
So how do you guys feel about violence in video games?
Don't go killing innocent people, and I'm good.
So you mentioned you played BioShock, which definitely has elements of killing the innocent in it. How do you feel about that?
I love that option that you could choose. I love games that you have many different avenues. You can kill people, you can save people, you can... there was one game that I heard about that you can either blow up a city and get like this high-rising awesome apartment, or you can save the city and get like a robot butler, and it actually affects the outcome of the game, and I love that.
How far would you say is too far for violence in video games? Is there any
Is
games
there
that would
limit?
turn you off because there's so much violence in it? Like,
Grand Theft Auto, like I said, I don't know, it's just like kind of, that game has never really been appealing to me. You're just like going around collecting hookers, killing people. It's just, no thanks.
I don't like games that have realistic violence. Which
you're
is
talking about graphics.
No, just games that are realistic and not fantasy, because then realistic violence comes into play. Like Grand Theft Auto is a realistic situation. We have real games and things like that. So I just don't play realistic games, and I'm fine with the violence. Because I know it's not real. It's in a alternate universe or whatever.
Yeah, I think I feel that way too. Like, I think that might be why I prefer sci-fi, because it's like not as realistic. When you're like, oh yeah, this is just a story, but I guess in like a more realistic thing, you're like, I guess it's just kind of.
I personally feel that, like, I'd rather people kill or do whatever they want, kill innocent people in a game. I prefer them do it on a game than in life. So if they want to kill people in a game, go ahead, do what you want. That's your thing, but feel free to play.
So you don't really have any opposition to
Not
violence?
really. No.
Does it affect whether or not you play a game?
No, not really. I mean, if it gets too violent, like I honestly have never ran across a game that was too violent. I can't say that I have, but if it ever comes to a point, which I'm not sure what the standard for that would be, because I haven't run across it yet, I probably just wouldn't play it. I wouldn't go out and hold signs out and say, don't play this game and all that. Like, if you want to play it, play it. It's my choice not to play it.
What about you, Nikki?
I haven't run across a game that was too violent. I guess my limit would be don't kill kids or puppies. I don't want to see a puppy die.
So Nikki, you said games that have a strong element of choice that affect the actual outcome of the game is an attraction to you. How important is that?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of like writing your own story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
like,
a choose your own.
like those Goosebumps books, like turn to page 50, you're like, oops, I died and go back. Exactly.
That's another good question.
So you see an ad for a game that you like. How often will you spend money on that?
I guess.
Yeah, if I really wanted the game, I'd probably just want to get it. I would never be able to get this out.
Save up money.
Save up money.
I'm doing the only thing I'm saving up money on.
Bigger for me.
Make a friend.
So you guys, because you all are pretty avid gamers, you definitely find yourself being willing to spend money on games.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you said you like games where you get to choose the outcome. What other elements attract you to a game?
Kind of like what she was saying also, where you can create your own person, like characteristics and whatnot, because I feel, to me, like RPGs, when you create a character, I'm kind of creating myself. So, because when I want to play this game, I'm escaping into like another world, and I just kind of want to escape from life. And this becomes me, so I want more options.
So with multiplayer games, do you guys think you'd be happy with a better variety of girl characters to play?
Bigger girl, I want a bigger character. I want to dominate everyone with an Amazonian character, show who's boss.
So obviously more realistic proportions.
Oh yes. Like, okay, you're not gonna have a size 20 waist in triple D's. It doesn't work that way. It just
I
doesn't
want
work
to play
that
a
way.
gnome that just runs around kicking people in the shins.
Just like a tiny person just running around everyone's like,
My mom always plays a gnome because she's so short, and she's just like, bend over so I can kick you in the butt.
So what other features would you like to see in female video game characters?
well, a lot of the case, the woman always has that high-pitched, cute voice. No. Can we just get a character that's not skimpy looking, that isn't sexualized? I just want a character that's not sexualized, that people look at and they're like, yeah, I'm kind of afraid of her. I kind of wish they would make it so you can like either change like skin tones, I just really like you said, I wish you could customize your whole character, kind of like Sims, make it so you can make a different body type, make it some different hair, so you can like kind of have a more intimate relationship with that character, just so you're not just that over-sexualized girl with a piece of clothing covering
So
your
definitely body type. You
Yeah,
really want
just
to be able to
body
create.
type. I also want to be able to choose the clothes. I want to be able to choose the breast size, the hip size, the everything.
So is there any subject matter in video games that you don't see that you would like to see handled?
Maybe a main character that's a female with a male sidekick, because a lot of cases there will be a male character with a female sidekick. But why don't we
Like
just
Drake's Uncharted.
kind of like reverse that, make it so the male's the sidekick. Just show.
I like games that don't have the happy ending all the time. I like dark and depressing games because I don't like cliche stories. I don't like cliche endings. I don't like fairy tale endings because that's not real life. People die if you suck at video games. They die. So I want games that change depending on my level of ability. If I suck, something dies and it doesn't get changed after that person dies. Like, it goes a specific storyline if that person happens to die. So,
To adapt to what your choices are in the game. To adapt to what your choices are in the game.
Kind of how it chooses,
So kind of like
Yeah.
in Kingdom Hearts, depending on which way you choose it, it goes like a different path. Those games are always great, you know,
Oh,
where
yeah,
you can choose a different
definitely.
path to go down.
How it's like choose straight.
So what you guys are saying is you'd like to see something different.
Oh yeah,
Don't
different's
want
good. It's just things kind of getting monotonous now. We need
So
something
you
different.
think that it'd be cool if developers just went there, you know, come up with a crazy idea, you know, that you'd be willing to give it a try.
Oh yeah.
I feel like developers are too scared to go outside the box now because they're afraid that if they step outside of it, they're not going to make any money. So they just go with what is in everyone's comfort zone, what they know that society likes, and they just stick with it. But what society wants is more than what they've already provided.
But you know what we're learning here is that female gamers are willing to spend money on
Oh, yeah.
games.
Oh, definitely.
So I mean, and you guys are 47% of the gaming population. So if you guys are spending that much money on it, you're willing to see something new, something different.
I'm like 80% of League of Legends income.
Is there a specific style of art that you prefer in video games?
Well, being an artist, I don't really have a favorite. I appreciate all different ones. I enjoy seeing the different things that they have. I enjoy seeing the different styles that each game has. It's part of another reason why I would choose a game. Like, oh, this is a different style. I want to go for that. Like, different styles kind of
So
separate.
it's not about how good the graphics are.
It's
like
not
you
about
said
the
earlier.
graphics.
You want to see that you more care about the artistic nature of it. Even if it's not the best graphics, you care about the style.
Yeah, like it's not even doesn't even have to be the style of the graphics. It could be like the style of the writing, the style of the plot. It's just like if it's, I guess I'm more appealed to the different. Like if it's different, I'll like it. If that makes sense. It's just I know a lot of people are like, oh, high graphics. I'm like, but there's games out there that don't have high graphics that are really really fun. Why don't you give it a try? And then they don't listen to me and they miss out.
I'm sort of the same way. Like, I can adapt my taste to the artistic style because I know everyone wants to be appreciated for what they achieved. So I can adapt. I just don't. I'm not really big on the anime style. That's all. Because I feel like it's so popular that I don't want to play it because it's really popular.
Is there anything else in a game other than repetitiveness that you don't like?
I don't think there's really a line, like, there's no really determining whether I'm gonna like a game or not until I like try it. Like, I can't go into game like I'm not gonna like this. Like, I have to try it first, and I don't know what's going to decide whether I like it or not. It could be it's too repetitive. It could be something else. It all depends on the game, in all honesty.
What about the social aspects of the gaming world? Is there anything you'd like to see change?
Social aspects wise, I don't know, like most games now like allow you to either play online mode or offline mode. Like, so you don't really need to talk to people if you don't want to, and if you do want to talk to people, you can. Like, I really enjoy the fact that they have an offline mode. That makes sense.
But if people were more accepting on the servers, would you be happier to be on there? Would you be choosing that?
No, I mainly play offline because I'm like there to play the game and I don't want to talk to people when I'm in the middle of the game, if that makes sense.
Go ahead.
I sign up for MMOs because I want that social aspect. I want to reach out to people because I don't get a lot of exposure. But when people don't accept me into their group, it's really disheartening. So I wish people would take me more seriously as a gamer, but it's really hard to make people change their opinions about things.
I personally like the social aspect, but there's times that you want to turn it off or just focus on the game. But when I play games like Amnesia, I want that person there with me. I don't want to be screaming my head off by myself.
Be viewed as an equal.
So it's more level of respect, Tina.
Yes.
You'd like to see more respect from the other people in the community.
But I feel also what comes along in video games is a lack of respect because people don't want to have to respect people they don't know. Like, you won't say it to anyone else, but you get online.
How often do you play on headset talking to other gamers or interacting via text?
Once a month, if that.
Other than my family that I play with, my group of 5 people, I don't interact with strangers on like Mumble, for instance, because I'm just gonna assume they're gonna be douchebags.
I'd have to say 24/7. I like to play with people. I love to interact with people while playing the game. It helps the game itself because if you're playing a game by yourself and you have a team of 5, you can't really communicate well. I mean, you can type on the side, like, go here, go there, but if you're talking over Skype or something, it's easier and you can collaborate better.
How about you, Nikki?
It's gone down a lot recently, but I used to be 24/7.
You know, I think it comes from the Xbox also, like Xbox, PS3, because they allow those kind of things. They basically promote it because you can have in-game talking and whatnot, but PC gaming is a little bit different. You have to take a step further to invite people to the chat to do this and that. And it'd be nice to actually have like an in-game PC chatting.
So you really enjoy that as an element of the gaming experience?
It's
Okay.
the repetitive quests a little bit easier.
So it's much more fun to play a game where there's a group of people and you're all striving towards something, or you can be competitive against other people, get a chance to prove yourself.
Well, if it's my close friends, then that's something I like to do, but I won't like go into like with random people. Like, if it's my close friends, I'm like, hey, Skype call, let's do this right now, and then they make fun of me, but it's okay because they're my friends.
Yeah. And like there's those chatting sites, like we were discussing earlier, IMVU, I don't know if I know, and that is basically a site just for chatting. But there's also things you can do, and that site is fun. There's no goals to that game, it's just social. And I think that's fun.
How often are you on IMU?
I used to be on it every day, all the time, up till 3 o'clock in the morning, all the time, but it's cut down since I've been playing League of Legends.
You bring up League of Legends a lot. Since that seems to be your primary game at the moment, can you tell us what attracts you to it?
Well, a lot of my friends play it, that's for sure. If a lot of people play it, I'm not going to say if a lot of people play it, I'll play it, but it's nice to have a game that everyone plays. so you can connect with them more, because sometimes we'll ask if hey, you want to play this? Well, I'm not playing that right now. I'm playing another game. I'm doing something else. But as of right now, a lot of people have it downloaded. They're playing it. And
It's
it's
fun.
just nice. It is fun.
It's like not like
It is repetitive though. I will say that, but there's something addicting about it. And I think it's that you have more options to choose, because it's not the same person over and over. You get to pick different champs.
So it's the people who play the game that make it fun as much as the actual game itself.
Yes. in a way.
It's a different experience every time you get
Yes,
on
'cause
the
you
server.
never know
There's
what's
different people on there.
it's just fun.
It's fun.
So-
It's fun. And it's free, so there's more people that
It's
have it.
free, definitely.
Like it's like free, so like there's more of a range of people that have it. Like all my friends basically have League of Legends. It's like a game that if you're like, oh yeah, I don't have money, you're like, I don't care, go download it, it's free.
Do you play League of Legends, Cindy?
Yeah.
How about you, Megan?
No, I want to now because all
So if you knew more female gamers, would you be more apt to play together with them?
They were
Yeah.
good, and
If they were good.
if they were good and they could work well with others, like I wouldn't mind having a full like 5 female girls. Like I think it would be fun. Cause like
Yeah,
if
so
we go to like champions and whatnot, like that'd be awesome. Like you
Just
don't
all
ever
female.
see girls going any further than just sitting at home saying I'm a girl gamer. I think it'd be cool to see other girls out there representing.